Hello, this is FG back with you for Anbennar. Today we are continuing on with the Themarenn campaign. This is part 2. Last episode we conquered Rylenar as well as consolidated our hold over Telgir and Gabmorian. And now we just have the minor task of making sure that our, what are they called? Our subjects don't want to revolt, and continuing with our mission trees. Uh, 15 regiments of infantry. Okay. Right. Can we get more? Yes, we can get another regiment of infantry. That should also help. Can't take that yet. Assume taking that will probably make them more loyal as well. I think it did. Yeah, we can go ahead and go ahead of time on admin. We can do defensive do we want that? I guess quantity. Okay, let him stay home. That will make the estates a little upset. We need to figure out how to get more land to the nobility at some point. But for right now, I just want to stabilize my relations with my vassals. Oh yeah, sorry, fuck. Can't do that until I have that mission done with, because otherwise it's going to take forever. Right, and they... Is that after I seized the land? I think it might have been. Yes. Was... go back to the infantry. Okay, and then we will go with quantity. $79, $80. Anbennar, Anbennar, Silver Forge, Gabmorian, Ashiende, Diplo. Okay, I'm just gonna improve relations with my vassals until that's over with. For Des Moines, could theoretically do that. Stalin. Tear is dead for the benefit of Anbennar. No, we really can't afford that anymore. Does this have... Okay. Tech trade in the Dame's Crown. Okay, tech has been taken. Increase with lane Spinar is up. Dames to your meteorite. Okay, that goes from 1.6. Okay, that's definitely helpful. And I can take... Let's do elaborate court ceremonies. Okay. Now we can begin improving relations. Everyone. No, don't need that. Let's do Enchanting Embassy. And then we can... Rylenar. Okay, what if I throw down a centralization edict right there? Should help a little bit. 28% of the... Get this. Alright. Make sure I pay off the big loans first. Alright. Excellent. Do that, and we can improve relations with Anbennar, I suppose. We get 5 relations per month, which is pretty good. We do need temples. All that. Naive relative. Pennon, Lane Spinar. Sorry, maxed out there. And then here we want to improve relations. Should have built that. Do have to deal with that because that would cause us to lose our what's it called? We will side clergy. Okay, recall him from there. Form alliance there. Improve relations. Take that off. If I was to declare war on them, get 36,000 in, need one more ally. Who would like to be my ally? Anbennar. Add them to the list. Okay, and then I'll need to get the nobility influence up. Okay, strong duchies. Should have given that out a long time ago. Who would be a strong ally? Arboron, how many men do you have? 7,000. Arnen. I guess Arboron against Dame's Crown, perhaps? Okay, we do want that next tech. I'm gonna save up for that. Having brought the ambitious provincial nobility back into the fold, we can once more entrust the delicate matters of state to them. Imperial bureaucracy, establishing connections within Esmeria, renovating and looking after the Lake Palace, and the organization raising of new levies. Back in the day, under the Grand Duchy of Esmeria, these noble ministers were better known as Esmeri stewards. The stewards were to represent the best of Esmeria, to be cultural ambassadors, respected diplomats, and be patrons of arts and architecture. The first step to restoring their reputation is creating the infrastructure for these operations to be carried out, namely temples, public offices, renovations of palaces, and recruitment centers. Our capital of Themarenn is one of the most prestigious locations in the entirety of Canor already, with clean roads, functional services, and administrative buildings certainly better than the unsightly and infernal-infested neighbors of Themarenn. Alright, Themarenn. Higher development than Themarenn. It has that. And it needs barracks, training fields, and marketplace. Which we can do. And expanded infrastructure twice. Okay, we do want Miltech. Do that, and then we will throw down Courtier of Adventures. We can employ a level 2 advisor. Sweet Castle has been repressed. And now we need to go fight Des Moines. Oh, we need 2 curry favors right there. And have relations with them, Conwell will be very helpful. Because of their war wizard. Okay, we need... Okay, we have enough money that we can now run a Diplo advisor. Okay, and if I did this, the only thing preventing them is that... who is the current emperor? Wex. Okay, relations, improve relations, and we can also build a spy network there. Scandal at court. And just spend the money. We will go ahead and buy a singular cannon to help with sieges, because it provides quite a lot of value for the money. That doesn't do anything for me. Who is the Witch King? Okay. What's so wrong with Conwell? You know what? I'm gonna throw this general down. Do we have any... I'm just gonna have to decline that. They are, yeah, very upset about that. Alright, so for Bannon, I just want money, war reps, transfer trade power. For Stalin, money, war reps, humiliate. Is that the... Okay, that wasn't the good general. Alright. Stalin, and then war reps. Okay, let me check something. Okay, Lane Spinar. Don't have trade power in that node, so that's good. Sorry, Conwell. Alright, Themarenn. Money. War reps. Spirit. Transfer trade power. And then Estalin. You'd see my way eventually. Alright. Having brought life back to the Lover's Coast with the architectural advancement of the restorationist movements lately, we find ourselves financially and technically capable of fulfilling one of the House Therenen's dream, a connection to the sea. Previously thought impossible due to several factors, one by one we have overcome the challenges, waiting for the day an opportunity presents itself, and here we are. The stewards, the merchants, and the clergy are all expecting a share of the project and are willing to fund the bulk of the work as it would benefit all those who find their domain located in between Lake Theranen and the Ryle estuary. Waste time we must not. Canals need to be dug, dams be built, and estuaries to be expanded. Let us send out a call for all the most talented architects and engineers of the land. This shall be Theranen's mark on history. Having arrived mere minutes ago in Gebert, the royal courtier ascended the platform that stood in the city's central square. He unrolled the long, sealed scroll and proclaimed, "Hear ye, hear ye. Effective immediately, the coffers of the Duchy of Theranen are open to any who dare to undertake a project of unprecedented scope. The construction of a canal between Lake Theranen and Rylenar. The minimum qualifications are as follows. One of the following must be true. A letter of recommendation from a recognized contractor, a degree of qualification from a recognized academy, blah, 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 blah. While unprecedented in scope, especially for a country of our size, a direct connection to the sea has been a dream of House Theranen for as long as they held the title to this land." Alright, and I'll get that. We have privileges of our own. Alright, how are we looking? Okay, yeah, we're fine. We will eventually have to... Okay. I guess we can deal with that later. We don't necessarily need to have them. Candidates present themselves. During the course of this past month, many candidates have presented themselves and their portfolio to the Council of Ministers. Out of these talented individuals, 3 in particular stand out, each with their own vision and set of specialties. The first candidate to be approved was not an unexpected one. Lord Valen, the noble architect in the service of the Count of Jurgencliff, has made a name for himself there. His efforts to renovate the city and attend the roads did not go unnoticed in the capital, and now he has presented himself with a clear plan of action. He insists the construction must be done with the utmost level of coordination and regulatory oversight in mind. He has already prepared mountains of documents to present to all parties who would be relevant. From petty thieves to the Emperor himself, it is clear that Lord Valen is not only a solid choice when it comes to design, but also understands how to keep pace with the bureaucratic nightmare of the Empire and its politics. Although not shocking, a second candidate, or rather candidates, come from the city of Rylenar. Twin brothers Alarain and Vincent Redcoaster are famous across the Dameshead for their maritime construction business. Docks, harbors, shipyards, trade depots, and everything related to that area of construction is within their territory. Though inexperienced in country-spanning projects, they do offer a high level of expertise in dealing with the canals, water levels, dams, and things of the sort. Plus, they have a veteran corps of skilled laborers to make sure the project goes smoothly. Lastly, an outsider, but not one from far away, a gnomish engineer by the name of Nam Netherfingers has appeared before the court. He is quite famous for his exploits in the field of artifice, but also infamous for running risky experiments. He promises to deliver a grand canal using the most modern and cutting-edge devices, ones that the world has never seen before, but he also requires a generous amount of resources and crowns to work with. It is now up to the Lord of Themarenn to choose a favorite and have them start planning. Let's go with the gnome. Okay, and then lastly, we need that. That. Agenda of the... Yeah, we found it before. Silver Forge needs an improved relations. Sorry, Conwell. Not sure. Okay. Okay, I do have something resembling a plan. Okay, yeah. I think I've come up with a plan. You need to start creating favors now for the plan to work, though. Okay, we do want that. Give me the army tradition, because that is a lot of army tradition. And then we can do that. And then we can do... Having restored our dominion over Rylenar, it is only natural that we pursue the titles we inherited by absorbing the duchy. Conwell was a fellow member of the Moon Party during the Fourth Lilac War, and given their precarious position and some persuasion, they might be inclined to accept our rightful demands. Otherwise, we can always try and persuade them the difficult way. Support the stewards. Put up recruitment notices to fill the ditches. Yeah, I can annex Sainthal for like no rest of expansion. Secure the funding and resources. And then to proceed with our great project, preparations must be made. The newly appointed head architect. His approach, though, is quite unusual. Instead of asking traditionally, he has secured the backing of various adventurer and mages guilds, focused on reducing costs instead of a smooth flowing of crowns. Apprenticeship, survey the land. Okay, in case you guys have not seen what the plan is, that is the plan. Put up recruitment notices to fill the ditches. Alright, gathered in a grand terrace of the Lake Palace, in one particular sunny day, are various prominent figures of the land, head priestess of Esmeralda and Rayala, the guild masters of various merchant and adventurer factions, and some of our most esteemed stewards. A small delegation of curious mages and nobles have also come abroad to witness the ceremony. Taking center stage, the Duke stands near a small ornate bell delivered just recently from Tellum. After a short appreciation speech for all present, one of the servants standing to the side is summoned. Gently moving forward with a graceful bow, the servant presents a golden bell clapper to the Duke. The bell is rang, and shortly after, cannon fire is heard, startling the crowd of dignitaries. Frightened but curious, all step forward to the edge of the terrace, bracing the marble railing, and another cannon shot follows the initial one shortly after. This time, all present see the smoke in the distance on the other side of the lake, where the head architect and laborers have begun waiting on a signal to begin their work. Okay, so we can build 2 of those. 1 of those. Okay. That will give us very little aggressive expansion. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so theoretically, how many favors is this going to cost? Alright, 60. Yeah, like 63. Okay, that's not too bad. We can improve Enchanting Embassy. Okay, so improve relations, and Solar Forge, Ashian Bay, Lane Spinar, improve relations. Okay, I am going to take that because that's useful. And we are going to curry favors. We call improve relations, increase with Conwell. Alright. Our realm has largely been restored, and our claims no longer go uncontested. So is the case with our diplomatic reach. We can leverage our newfound political credit to send summons to all of our friends who fought beside us. They should know that there is one among us that is not an equal, morally bankrupt, and corrupt by nature. Themarenn. The merchant lords who took the city over all those decades ago have been plotting behind the scenes to sow chaos and destruction within the region to further their own goals, increasing arms and material sales to desperate realms and monopolizing crucial resources in the least of their betrayals, for the true intention is far more malicious. These news will surely justify one last coalition, this time against evil. Unlike the first meeting of the moons, this time the air was thick with speculation. What could have driven the lords of Themarenn to call another council? All present noticed one significant absence, Themarenn. Taking the podium, Vernel III began to recount the tales of the Fourth Lilac War, laying bare the numerous disappointments and shortcomings for all to hear. Each misstep was traced back to a single source, the hub of deceit, the Spider's Den, where evil lurked just below the surface, Themarenn. Their twisted motivations and ambitions, tailored to suit the needs of their infernal overlords, had constantly hindered the party, thwarting the chance of victory. No more, the Lord of Themarenn proclaimed. If Asmeria is to find respite, the root of evil must be banished from the realm. The last Hedini outpost must be seized and purged. The Duke continued to implore his allies for assistance, assuring Themarenn supporters that when they strike Themaren's height, the entire corrupt core will collapse, revealing their treachery for all to see. I declared that war. Okay. House on the lake. And then barracks. Oh. Yeah, we gotta wait. Which one do I like more? Ryala? Ismail. Close our way to being able to annex Gabmorian. 1507, 1521. So, like, 30 years. Damn it, they elected Lex again. Alright, well, we can put... taking that back on the back burner for the moment. Tear, Sainthal, Artemis, Varain. Alright. Okay, so at this rate, the next emperor will be... Istrawar. Experimental engineering. Yeah, we can do that. Silver blooded. Okay, yeah, do that. Right. Navigator, that would be Munis. Let's actually stick with Rala for the moment. Don't want to take that. I do want to go with Esmiral. Do we have subsidized? Yeah, we do have subsidized Colt Hunters. And we could do religious culture, actually. Okay, that's only 5% land. That is a significant benefit to us, because basically all of our lands are going to be Esmeri or Imperial, so... I'll do summon familiars, and then that. Spare the mana. Ooh, no. The Heartland Borders region. What is that? Okay. End of the Themarenn phase. Today, a messenger brought us a report from the construction site. I don't know which side they were on, so I'm just going to improve relation. A new dam has been constructed to allow regulated flow of water from Lake Themarenn in the waterway. The dig site, as requested, is wide enough to accommodate 2 grand party barges to comfortably pass each other, those with a minimum length of 150 feet, maximum beam of 40 feet, and displacement of 6,000 short tons. Flood walls have been built using concrete and reinforced using various materials and enchantments. The walls run along the canal site and ensure the safety of surrounding areas in case slack water levels are disturbed by rainfall or other events. The costs are piling up. Okay, that's done. Through our diplomatic outreach to our friends, we also have realized something pleasing, that the animosity stoked by factionalism within Esmeria has largely subsided. This will provide us with the perfect opportunity to also reach out to the Rose Party members and try and sort out our differences once and for all, and to achieve Vernel III's second stream, a peaceful tomorrow, not just for us, but for all those who we care about. Conwell, autonomy decreased. Okay, and right here we need barracks to get this one done. Alright. And then we will do artifact and enthrallment. Need a smith. Okay, and then we need that. Yeah, we don't care about Blue Heart's opinion. And then Palace on the Lake. Having delegated the metropolitan nobility back to their original responsibilities seemed to have ignited a wondrous restoration movement among those with an eye for fine art and architecture. Thanks to the Stuarts' efforts, many artists from Esmeria or other areas of the Empire have flocked to Themarenn, trying to make a name for themselves. So far, many attempts have been taken to restore the old lake palace of the Grand Dukes of Esmeria. But the intricate and frankly complicated engineering and architectural know-how to maintain such a grand palace has been lost to us. There are hopes amongst the stewards that maybe one day one of these new creative minds will find a way to rebuild the palace back to its former splendor. Okay, so cost 900. Name of the Elf Realm. Okay, what does that actually give us? Monarch lifespan. In our efforts to promote Esmerian nobility back to their original duties, we have also encouraged patronage of the arts and crafts as well as innovative thought. Thanks to this resurgence, many an artisan or painter has been inspired to create great works, laying under the shadow of the Lake Palace and trying to add their pieces to its great collection of art. Meanwhile, others have had grander ideas. While raised in a merchant family in Yarncliffe, Boole's talents in architecture and history were quickly recognized by the local nobility, and under their patronage he was sent to Conwell and Anbennar to study in a variety of fields such as history, architecture, arts, and natural science. So it was that he returned after 10 long years of having studied and built up a reputation across the Empire, and offered his services to his patron, the now fief of Yarncliffe. Under his supervision, castles and manors would be built, and the coastal infrastructure would be revamped to accommodate for more ships, fueling the everlasting rivalry between Yarncliffe and the Coast Road. Having completed his duties, to the local lord. He would then present in front of the ducal court in Themarenn, offering his work to the Lake Palace. His lifelong dream. While the Lake Palace has been effectively decommissioned since the fall of the Grand Duchy of Asmaria, the royal librarian informs us that she has preserved the original manuscripts and the foundations of the structure of the monument. We need but to provide the funds so work could begin. In the meanwhile, some in our court have successfully hired Tristan Buell as an advisor to serve in our court, while others think his time would be better spent teaching the next generation of artisans. All right. So we will need to take that eventually. Yeah, convert trade to me. The demands. How many more ships can I get? 2 more barks. Nope. There they go. Let me get 1 more cannon, 1 more cavalry. Well, I don't actually need the extra cannon. 1 cannon's good enough for now, and then 4 infantry. This will put me actually a fairly large army. Take that, alright. I'll do that for money. Are we still rivaled? Yeah, we'll sail the mages. And have these guys protect trade in Dame's Crown. Okay, take that off. And we got that one. We're halfway there. Porting iron, yep. I don't care about Themarenn. Okay. Do not care about the Imperial Palace. Get that done. Truce with Benin. Oh, okay. Yeah, we can get that alliance back. And we want to go here and curry favors. Curry favors here. Okay, they're only 17. I don't want Celiand. Who would be a good ally? Could do Corvuria. How many men do they have? 18,000? Sounds good to me. Could I get... Would that be possible? Probably not. Okay. Purchase an ability. Yep, get extra Diplo rep. We'll take that for another diplomat. Conwell. I just don't want wet. How old are they? 50? Okay. Istrogor is gonna be the next emperor. Unless it was me. How did Gisden get on elector seat? I mean... They... How likely are they to vote for me instead? If the Dame's Crown wasn't my rival, they'd probably vote for me. What about Pearl's Edge? Okay, some Mary Stewards. Okay, we'll get that soon, and then we need to spy on Ibivar. I think things are coming together. Follower of many gods. We get another diplomat. Alright. And then we want to... Relations, improve relations there. Stop doing that. Form a coalition against them. The lands historically ruled by House Therarenn include portions of Can, Esmar, and Rylenar. This presents a unique challenge in the form of division in worship, more than what normal friction within all realms that follow the Regent Court deities. While all gods are revered by the people, they are not equal in prayer. People of Therarenn city itself, the largest city in the council, follow Esmyril, the mother goddess who brings fertility to the land, a warm heart to all homes, and watches over families, keeping them safe and prosperous. On the other hand, the majority of the rest of the country, especially in our provinces west of Therarenn, those of Rylenar and Sweet Castle and Urncliffe, or further south near Conwells, revere Ryala more than other deities, the goddess of love, beauty, courtship, and purity. From a political standpoint, it is quite difficult to maintain this balance, so sooner rather than later, we must choose which temple to focus on and more closely cooperate with. We are going to go with Esmyril, because I don't really go use Esmyril very often. A duality that has always plagued the lands of Therarenn is the influence of the two main goddesses of Esmeria, the mother goddess Esmyril and her revered daughter Riala. Temples within Therarenn are primarily dedicated to Esmyril, while in the periphery the majority lean towards Ryala. Both temples send emissaries to courtly events and royal births, bringing prayers and offering priests tutor heirs. Today, representatives from both temples appear before the Duke. The Asmyrans, led by their head priest, walk the red carpet with angelic grace, their candles filling the courtroom with spiritual energy and incense. After the Asmyral ritual, the priestess of Ryala, a group of 5 young ladies clad in white robes, with laced veils and bouquets, enter the courtroom with the precision of brides. At the Duke's throne, the head priestess bows, offers her bouquet to the Duke, and smiles at the air and takes her place. The Duke convenes the court to decide who will tutor the future of our realm. The court theologian introduces both parties. The Asmyran Temple has nominated Lady Nara Rozon, the High Priestess of Themarenn, to tutor the heir. Known for her meticulousness, compassion, magic, and history, she could enrich our heir with knowledge and find the perfect betrothed. Lady Rozon bows gracefully, offering a kind smile towards our heir, her golden hair captivating everyone. The advisor then points to the right, representing the Rialan Temple. Lady Istriana Sil Diemoyne has graced us. The Duke remembers, congratulating her for becoming the youngest High Priest of Riala. Her fairness and beauty are renowned. The Duke notices Lady Istriana's subtle stare at our heir. He thinks that if our heir chooses Istriana, he would learn life lessons, how to have a commanding presence worthy of a duke. Choosing between the 2 candidates is difficult, but such is the life of an heir to Drosten's legacy. Lady Nara will care for him as his mother would. Alright, so currently we have... Where is improved relations? EFG... 67%. Get rid of them. You also need to do that. Please, for the love of God. There we are. Okay. Compassion and prosperity. Esmerine. Falling. Okay, that's definitely broken. I am not gonna do that. Quickly call in the army. The gnome is reportedly too shocked to react. Shit. I'm not gonna do that until we've actually taken it. Yeah, I'll do that. And then we can come off there, and we can... Oh, Gnomish Hierarchy is a thing. Its actions. Parry favors here. And... who else am I allied with? I'm not going to take that till I actually take the temple. Because it's not... one of the following. Well, I guess we can take it anyways. Home is always where the faith is, a saying amongst Asmyral's faithful who seemingly never lose their path. Never lose their path. It is said that one's pure of heart will always find their way through even the darkest of days and roughest of roads. The Asmyral clergy have always been fast to point out one's hopelessness as the reason for their downfall. Could it be true? It has not been uncommon for even the vilest of criminals to take shelter in the Mother's Sanctuary. Is that their faith nestled within their hearts, giving them hope with each beat, telling them that there might yet be a chance? The way of our goddess, unlike her guidance, is hard to threat. But much like her teachings, easy to understand. Stability is at least 3. Alright. To all those lost in the eternal night, they need only follow the path of Asmaril has put before them. Go with the flow to reach the one place everyone belongs to, home. Then some might wonder, what is home? Any wise priestess would find that question difficult to answer, not because the answer is complicated, but rather the fact that it would be hard to grasp for those not familiar with the ways of Asmaril. Simply put, home is where one belongs, the place where one's mind can be at ease, the one place where one does not fear death, the one place where the warmth of familiarity can get you through cold, everlasting winter nights. Alright. Birth of colonialism. I'll go ahead and take that so that we can have comedically cheap advisors. Alright. So, in terms of the Imperial election, I would become the Emperor? I'm not sure. What happens in a case where there's a tie? Because the Magisterium hates us. Could I drop one of... Give them support. Okay. $25,000 manpower, 5,000 max sailors. Okay, I do need that. Recall. That's done. Fire our Inquisitor, sure. Give me the Mage. Have way too many diplomatic relations. $15.07. Good relations with both of them. You do that? No, they don't. I think I have to throw that down there. And I guess we can develop. Smith's Song, yes. That's very helpful. Advancement artifact. It's all for a good cause, of course. Okay, so they're Conqueror with loose lips, which means they're gonna die. Okay, do I have religious diplomats? I do. They do not want to be my vassal because they are a free city. Okay. A few more years until we can do that. And then... take the prestige. Don't need that. Build that. Build that. Ibavari exiles. Give me the free points. Take that prestige. Drunken Goblin Rampage. Alright, got that done, and we can take this one. Okay. That's good. Call there. Okay, and Themarenn needs dock. End of the river-to-river phase. Second major report has been delivered today. Long expected, the Dukes has summoned the court to witness the city progress and fruits of their hard work. The report reads, major obstacles and engineering challenges plagued the second phase of the project, but by blessings of our most revered ladies and sheer force of will, we have completed the most challenging portions of the construction in the name of the House Themarenn. Major investigations in defining the drainage divide between the rivers Esmar and Riala have been conducted and worked around. Additionally, the area between counties of Themarenn and Rylenar have been fully mapped and detailed. A major boon to our future development endeavors. Minor tributaries of the Rial River have been connected to the waterway. Levels of discharge fully accounted for, they will feed the widest portion of the project, enough to support even large warships to pass through and proceed towards Lake Themarenn. A total of 12 elevated bridges, 10 locks, 2 minor dams, and a major dam have been constructed, divided equally between the counties of Sweet Castle and Loveswood. Of note is the exceptional levels of enthusiasm and cooperation offered to us by the local lords. Alright, I can't build that yet. Do that. The vast and endless sea. Okay, the Magisterium still hates me. Let me get that. Sure. Expansion of the last leg of the project will concern the expansion of Riala's estuary basin to allow for passage of ships. The head architects are confident that the project will be finished on schedule at this moment. Some of the court are quite skeptical, however, as Rylenar itself is a major population center and the river cuts through the middle of the city. It will not be easy to finish the project without possibly evacuating some parts of the city. Alright. So we need impressment offices. Right here we want Enchanting Embassy. Evacuation of Rylenar. For the final leg of the project, the Riala estuary itself must be expanded to accommodate larger vessels. Not to be outdone, the Rialan clergy has requested a large evacuation project which aims to empty the neighborhoods within the scope of the project. This is no small feat as it requires displacing thousands of people. Our head architect now has to account for all the problems this might cause and somehow still manage the budget. We'll take the Diplo power. That can come off. Okay, so Lex is fighting Vinail. They've been chosen. Excellent. Okay, what if I ask them to reduce their opinion of Wesdam? Then I'm gonna alliance with them. Okay, let's go with adventure bands. And then we can do a few more cannons. Well, so we need 2 more favors. And then we will be done with Rebirth. Almost. Agenda of the Diet. Dame's Crown. Autonomy and Urncliffe. I guess we can do that. Alright. Conwell. Hurrah! Excellent. Okay, we can stop currying favors with them, and we can curry favors right here. Okay, is it time to integrate them? Yes, it is. Coin. Alright. Gnomish Satire. Okay. An end and a beginning. Nice view, isn't it? Panting heavily, Thomas finally catches up to his friend at the top of the Windgrace Hill overlooking the city of Rylanar. You need to slow down a bit. I almost broke my back trying to keep up. Ignoring the complaint, Roos points to a spot in the distance in the heart of Rylanar. That used to be Varen's house. Ha ha ha. Climbing a bit more to stand shoulder to shoulder with Roos, Thomas replies, nothing but water now, surrounded by beautiful stonework instead of that eyesore. Roos shifts his gaze, pointing towards the sea. Remember when the Marion somehow sank his boat out there? Poor Rena. She should have never gotten on that boat with him. Look there, Thomas points in the opposite direction where a merchant ship sails downriver towards Rylanar. Magnificent, Roos says in awe. To think that Themarenn managed such a feat. Well, they still need us to get to the sea. So in that regards, nothing has changed. Funny how everything can change yet stay the same. Such is life in Esmeria. We are celebrating Riela's holiday last week, and now we have the canal opening party to look forward to. I hope things stay the same in Esmeria. Alright. Integration is a... Oh, shit. I forgot to give out the... what's it called? Integration privilege. Mary stewards. Integration policy. Integration is a slow process. A nice little event sound. Improve relation. Alright. We can get rid of one of these. And they can join them. Have a dock. Okay. Rylenar has the correct thing, and then it needs a dock. That'll need to be built. That can get shared. Good point. Alright, annex them, and that'll be done very quickly. Yeah, siege experts. Development cost is always good. Is ours and always will be. Okay. No way chain of backstabbing. Integration is a slow process for that. Okay. We can get tri-dock there. Increased levies. Okay, let's get one last seize land before I do that. Alright, now we can grant. Where is it? Increased levies. The grand opening. It is done! Through countless hours of tireless work and rigorous oversight, finally, the Grand Canal project that would connect Lake Therarenn to the Lover's Coast is complete. Across the Empire, our efforts are already being praised as wealthy merchants and nobles stand in awe of this wonder. The stewards, having expanded their administrative range and enterprise expertise in the meanwhile, have already come forward with plans to reorganize the flow of peasant levies. Now, with direct access to the sea within our own domain, we are capable of founding new recruitment centers across the land, giving enough funds, they say. But in Asmeria, we have a tradition of celebrating our achievements. This is one for all the souls who have sacrificed their blood, sweat, and sweat to see this province project finished. All right. So that, and I do think a fairly dangerous amount of our income comes from this singular province, but we're not going to talk about that. All right. Alright, so 4 impressment offices is great. Expose the villains. We can get even more trade ships. Let's go up to 20. Great, we'll be able to do that in just a little bit. Alright, everything is going great. We can do with all of our allies. Alright. Do that. Get them together like that. Tech trade in the Dame's Crown. Okay. Let's get up there, and then combat width is 25, so we'll do that and that. Shit. Oh well, had to come to an end at some point. Okay, that'll be done soon. A party to remember. Prestige of 50. Yep. And we need that done. That will be done. Ryle in our area. Civilization. If you want that, take that as well, and then we'll do this. I can finally do structure. How long are they gonna stick around? Jesus Christ. Let's actually go here and spy network. Lots of recruits. Yeah, we like trade power. We cannot stand in the way of progress. Alright. Stellus is dead. That is perfectly fine with me. Okay, so hypothetically, if I was to do this, be 79,000. Okay, so the River Reavers. Drosten River Reaver, commander of Castinorian forces in Ismeria under Castan Ebenfrost. To his legacy, we owe the history of our country and our royal family. But more so than lineage, our culture. The River Reavers were, and to have some capacity still are, Theranen's elite marine force. Having migrated to Ismeria in the 11th century alongside Drosten himself, these men of the north chose to remain fiercely loyal to their liege and bring glory to the old duchy of Can Esmar, winning war after war, battle after battle, siege after siege. It is now up to us to carry their legacy on our shoulders and do them proud. With a well-organized nobility and enough financial strength to fully equip the best of our men, we shall restart the training of our renowned marine forces. The River Reavers have been making plans to launch an expedition overseas. Once they embark, they will also receive bonuses to their marine regiments. Sure. Okay, I suppose I can get rid of 3 of these guys and instead go with 3 of my River Reavers. Keep drilling, and then we can do... Guess we can build 2 of those. Okay, you know what? Let's do a coalition. Get these 2 in, and I can get Wex and Corvaria both in. Yep, easy peasy. Prepare for war. Prepare for war. Alright. And Silverforge, break your alliance with Esmerane. Alright. And then we'll do Enchanting Embassy and Matt's Charm. Kirk development and Diplo rep. State maintenance. Diplomatic relations, Diplo rep, liberty desire from subject development. Something fancy and impressive. Alright. I prefer butter. We told them. They did not believe us. Witness the corruption that has festered under the noses of our clergy. Esmerane is no longer a city of Esmyril. Rather, the city of Hadine's playground, and to think the Emperor would come to the defense of these vile heretics. Let's send the Emperor some gifts. Finally, the infernal nest is ours. Esmeralda, the source of the troubles, the thorn in Esmeria's beautiful flowers, the lair of debauchery. Let us teach these demon worshippers a lesson and reveal their corruption for all the world to see. Today, the court of Castellus is triumphant. Today, Esmeralda smiles upon us. General comes in, Varian, a young soldier of the Urine Cliffer flock. What is it? Don't you see we're busy, replies the general. Indeed, quite busy overseeing the complete chaos that is befalling Esmerine's town hall. Excuse my rudeness, sir. I have found what you asked for. The soldier then hands a sheet of papers to the general, having no visible stamps, signatures, or stamps. What is this, soldier? The papers have no markings. They can't be used as evidence. Stop wasting my time and look through the official documents. Ah! The excited soldier leans closer to the general and casts a simple detect magic spell on the sheet of papers. Look, it's all there. The amazed general looks in Varian's eyes with admiration before turning back to examine the papers more carefully. Payments, bribes, plot, favors, gifts. Pausing for a second, his gaze turned to the hidden signature at the bottom of the page. For Our Lady, the one true ruler of Esmeralda. All surrounding the general look at the rising smoke in the distance with a sense of dread. To them, Esmeralda was already lost. By Drosten's shame, burn it to the ground. Right. Excellent. All right, 27, which is not gonna be too long. All right, Silver Forge. Improve relations. Recall diplomat. Are we a great power? We are not. That's all right. Alrighty. Okay, so Conwell area need to have autonomy decreased. In the Rylenar area. The blood of Reavers once formed the most righteous Esmeri polity, the Duchy of Can Esmar. Headed by Drosten River Reaver, this realm spanned across northern and western Esmeria. Thanks to their efforts, the region was cleansed of decadence and debauchery, and order was restored. A unified Grand Duchy, directly ruled by the incorruptible and uncompromising Reaver dynasty. House Themarenn are the direct descendants of those righteous Grand Dukes and wise monarchs through a junior branch, but now the mainline is extinct. It falls to us to restore that glory and uphold their values. During the wars of the Sorcerer King, Esmeria endured some of its bloodiest times under the malevolent acolyte of Etelind the Wretched. Her breakthroughs at Old Passage and the subsequent invasion of Esmeria with her minions culminated in the event known as the Slaughter of Esmeralda, Merwick, during which tens of thousands of innocents lost their lives, including most of the old Esmeri royal family. Consequently, the only remaining legitimate heir to the throne was Loren the Lecher, a distant relative of the old family. His incompetence and indulgent lifestyle were a stain upon the history of this blessed land, leading to the final demise and fracturing of Esmeria. Alas, not all was lost, for heroes rose to meet the challenge. The black Castinorian commander who partook in the invasion of Esmeria, Drosten Riverreaver, had witnessed the nobility of Castinor be tarnished during these events, and eventually turned his loyalty away from the Sorcerer King to the people of the land, supporting their struggle for freedom. He would lead his armies and the Riverreavers, an elite guard unit trained by and fiercely loyal to only him, to liberate the rest of the occupied Esmeria and join the League of Free Realms, leading the League to numerous crucial victories. On his journey, he met the love of his life, a freed elven prisoner named Siley. Hoping to create a better future for all who depended on him, Drosten refused the unjust Treaty of Anbennar, which demanded the return of all Esmeri land and continued to rule and bring prosperity to his domain, which would be named Can Esmar. During Can Esmar's apex, Elvenization in the region reached new heights as arts and culture flourished, and the Drostening dynasty, the progenitor of House Themarenn, maintained order and prosperity. Let us bring honor to the Drostenings by adopting their royal titles. Send the Emperor some gifts. Alright. Imperial authority. Our power projection is 50, and we need an army larger than Wex, which can be arranged. Build a few extra cannons, and our power projection needs to be a little bit more. Is there anything we can do? Okay, who am I rivaled to? Arouse. They built supply depots. All right. Okay, we do not have the prestige. What if I ask them to... Okay, I can't ask them to reduce their opinion. Alright, that's... what? Few votes for me. Vanbury Guild, another competitor. We cannot afford the aid right now. Construction cost. We will take that. Punish the adventurers. Okay, so that's 3 votes for us. I can flip back over to Ryala for the moment. Relations, improve relations. Okay, so power projection's probably going to be easier to get. I'll go 5 more minutes, and then that will probably be it. Heartland Borders, Merchant. Yeah, we do the Merchants Guilds. Silverforge and Moonhaven are both our allies. That. We can do Gun Knights and Themarenns. We actually come right here and we will go improve relations, improve relations, improve relations, improve relations, improve relations, relations, improve relations. Recall. Alright. 74. Come on, I know they're a powerful mage, but they gotta be dying soon. Okay. No, don't need that. I need tech. Recall. Ooh, good Marhold. I'll improve relations with them and go wed. Everyone loves me, and I'm great. Light ship. How many light ships does it want? 5 heavies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we can build a few more lights. Upgrade that. I guess assail the mages. Oh, damn. I like that general. And then Magisterium. Alright. Diplomatic Corps. We're not really doing that much conquering, so that might be better. that. And these guys can't protect trade. Dame's Crown still. Alright, Marine's force limit is up. Okay, we want to get... Okay, we can get rid of 4 of them. Okay, let's get in there. Pressment offices. I need more of those. Alright, we are gonna need some money. Alright. One of the following. Lex is a rival. Could I switch? There we are. We have every right to the city of Themarenn, dynastic, historical, and the one earned by conquest. The Emperor will be wise to accept our rule over the city, but his court might not be so wise as to see there is no alternative, and we are not to be denied. In order to de-escalate the situation and provide a way for the Emperor to save face, we shall send him an offer that gives some autonomy to the city, while recognizing us as its protectors, effectively recognize the free city be under our control. Our reign over Themarenn is a certain affair. All that remains is to deal with the imperial politics and ramifications of annexing a free city. A grand envoy shall be sent too. They will be some of our most trained diplomats and statesmen, and they will assure a smooth negotiation process, and one which will surely end in our favor. Alright, I'm going to end that episode here. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and have a good day.